Thanks for being there. The program is this morning on ITV, broadcasting from your darling station located at the hilltop of Mpape district here in the nation's capital city, Abuja. My name is Iharo Atta, and it's now time for us to go on our interview segment. And as you understand, somehow in the music world, they say when music is nice, you play twice. Obviously, if you are not talking about the umbrella People's Democratic Party, as we speak at the moment, you may just not be talking about anything newsy, except what will actually be coming out from the National Assembly. But when they reconvene 10 a.m. At plenary, but the fundamental one is that the PDP is already on the front page. They dominated almost all the national dailies this morning. The dominance may either be that of the Ali Modu Sheriff-Led PDP following Cairo Ojukwo's yesterday press conference when he is calling for full, comprehensive and very dispassionate reconciliation, blaming the defeat in Ondo State to what he terms impunity in the party. The Ahmed Makarfi-Led PDP also yesterday, through his own spokesperson, issued a press statement condemning what happened in Ondo State and saying that was the height of charade, that what was announced by Professor Abdul Ganiyu did not represent the interest of the people of Ondo State. No matter where you're talking about taking it from, the PDP is at the center of it all. With so many columnists yesterday and so many columnists writing again today on why they believe the PDP is paying this very huge price or prices of defeat at a time when the party ought to be the strongest and the strength of opposition. Why must they pay such price? Why is the controversy costing the party so much? I have two very distinguished members of the ruling people, of the opposition People's Democratic Party in Ondo State. They are ruling. I have with me a former member of the House of Rep, one very vibrant, if you had followed through at the return of democracy in 1999. He was there doing it from the point of Salisu Buhari down to Gali Umar Abba, and he hails from River State. He is Honorable Bernard Miko, Acting National President Secretary of the PDP. He works with Senator Ali Modu Sheriff. You're welcome to us today.
Thank you very much.
And we have with us as well an administrator per profession, Lady Chinwe Nnoru. She is the head of Publicity Division of the PDP. She works with Senator Ahmed Makarfi. You're welcome to us today.
Thank you very much.
Now let's start off here with Madam Chinwe. Your party yesterday, let me call it your party yesterday, rejected the Ondo governorship election. And some are saying, I will not have any controversy here. One working with you, Governor Mimiko, congratulated Akeredolu. And at the same time, we're seeing a press statement coming from the same group saying that the election was flawed.
From which same group?
No?
You say same group. Which group?
The Ahmed Makarfi group.
Thank you very much. Let me begin by correcting the impression that Lady Chinwe Nnoru, who works with Makarfi.
Okay.
I am an appointed officer of the party,
Good.
The People's Democratic Party.
Good.
And to be precise, in fact, I'm an inception officer of the party.
Fine, that's commendable.
So
very commendable.
It's not like I'm
an employee.
I am employed. I am
okay.
just employed to work for
Makarfi.
I work for People's Democratic Party. And you said it all. What is going on in the party now is so huge, and it's costing us a lot. But I would also like to give this background.
Go ahead.
Because if you listen to the media presentations, most times they talk about PDP led by Senator
Ahmed Makarfi,
and Senator Ali Modu Sheriff. I wouldn't want to dwell on that.
But that's the problem we are tackling now.
I like to say that what is going on is not about factionalization of the party.
Okay.
Because when you talk about factionalization of the party, you're actually addressing the organs of the party that are fractionalized.
Good.
So at this point in time, we don't have such scenario. We have an intra-party conflict, yes.
A very strong one at that.
A strong one, no doubt about that. But you can discuss it more within that concept of tussles and wranglings among some special interest group.
I'm not playing it down. I'm not playing it down, madam. Because
I addressed Senator Sharif from the point of special interest group, and not that the party is factionalized. For instance, on May 24th, you can address the PDP has been factionalized on that day, but minor factionalization. Reason being that on that day, while the majority of the organs were in Port Harcourt, the BOT was in Abuja. And also within that BOT, for instance, the chairman was in Port Harcourt. So that way you can look at it that the party is factionalized. So it's just more like correcting an impression. We are here for Ondo, no doubt about that. So it's just to give that background that there is special interest group and there's no doubt about
that. So you're saying, you're saying that after the Port Harcourt convention, the faction disappeared. Makarfi became the authentic acting chairman and he was cruising and going.
Exactly. Giving the constitution of the party, which gives the supreme power to the convention. So it's not about Senator Makarfi, it's not about Senator Sharif or who we like. It has nothing to do with that. For instance, as an officer of the party, first and foremost, the constitution gives me, makes the provision that I'm first and foremost a member of the party. So for me, I am a member of the party. At the same time, I am an appointed officer of the party. So the onus is on me as a member and as an officer at the same time to comply with the provisions of the Constitution.
Okay, I'll come to you now. Let me come to you, Honorable Bernard here. It's something, we'll follow through what Madam Chingwe said. She tried to make the party look united. She paints a picture that shows the party like what people like us in the media will see ourselves as intruders here, trying to disturb a peaceful house here. But looking at the Ondo state election, you read through the columns, am I correct with the paper yesterday? Are you not worried? Everyone is talking about the fact that what played out was the biblical comment of Jesus Christ, that the house divided against itself cannot stand.
Well, if you listen to the press conference we did yesterday, addressed by Karo Jubo, the Deputy National Chairman, you will find out that the problem in the party is a structural one. And we pointed out that impunity, it didn't start today. It started a long time ago, where governors were allowed to pick people without going through the provisions of our constitution and even the Electoral Act. And when Mimiko came from Labour Party to rejoin the PDP, he single-handedly used the structure of Labour Party to displace unity. We stated all out in this program. But we are more concerned now about building a united party. Like you said that there is faction. I think there is no faction in PDP. What you have is leadership crisis.
Is that not faction?
The leadership crisis because the party is united from the grassroots. This is People's Democratic Party, which means that if you go to the grassroots, the voters, the ward where votes are generated, you don't see these divisions. It is when you go at the leadership level. And I want to take exception to the fact that people who understand the structure of the party as being organized by a national convention. You remember that when Mwazu left the party, he resigned and Secondu, the Deputy National Chairman, took over. And based on our constitution, he was supposed to stay there for 3 months. He stayed 8 months. And all entreaties for him to resign and allow the same person from the same zone to come refused. He failed. And Gulag, Barrister Ahmed Gulag, went to court, got judgment on the 16th of December that Secondus cannot parade himself as Deputy National Chairman. Secondus appealed to Court of Appeal, and on the 3rd of January, he lost the appeal, and Gulag took over the party secretariat. It was at that point that negotiations started on whom to succeed, because the judgment certificate stated that it must be Gulag or any other person from the Northeast, without naming anybody. I think it was that point that the NWC under Secondus now sourced for Sheriff and brought in Sheriff.
Now, we'll come to all of this PDP on at the end of our. But let's stay with Ondo.
Yes. So
I'll come to you, Madam Chingwe. Why was it that Jumo Ibrahim of your party, Eda Jagede of your party, had to be at the court at a time when the APC and the AD were campaigning?
Let me answer that.
Can they have seen themselves as brothers?
Let me answer that question. If you are familiar with the PDP constitution,
okay.
Article 7.3c is very clear that power rotation must be done within the state. Mimiko is from the Central Senatorial District of Ondo State. And if he has served his tenure, he should allow democracy to thrive and not pick somebody single-handedly from the same senatorial district where he comes from.
But there was a primary.
He was the sole person that bought forms. No other person was allowed to pick from within.
Maybe others saw him good enough, sir.
No, I'm telling you, you can find out.
He's not there.
You can find out. And you know, this leadership crisis in the party also had its own problem that led to the emergence of Jumo Ibrahim. 5 persons contested that election, 3 stepped down for him. And because of the security problem in Ondo as at then, the election was conducted in the zonal headquarters in Ibadan. It has happened before. It is within the constitution of the party. And with that, and with other judgments from the court, signifying that only sheriff can conduct elections in Edo and Ondo, combined effects of those things gave Jumo Ibrahim the candidature of the party. But if the Court of Appeal ruled otherwise...
But the Rivers Court backed Makarfi faction.
The Rivers Court?
A court in Rivers State recognized Ahmed Makarfi.
Yeah, these are matters that are before the court. You remember that there was a court judgment on the 12th of May that said that some offices of the party were not vacant, and mentioned office of the national chairman, office of the national secretary, and office of the auditor. Then on the 19th of May, a day before the convention, another court also gave judgment that some other offices. So it was at that point that that convention was put off. But let me tell you, people who claim that it is only convention, there is composition of a convention. One,
I will hold you. We are going out of Ondo. We'll come back.
Yes.
When we are finishing,
because
when we are finishing, we are going to talk more about that strongly here. Because if you watch, Nigerians who are there are not happy with every one of you in leadership position in the party, because they had thought that the PDP for now would have been strong enough to call the APC. Imagine we're in recession, PDP don't issue a press statement. Imagine sometimes things happen, no press statement. PDP that ought to keep APC on its toe. It appears APC is cruising away. No one is putting them on their toe.
In the party, we have the Secretary have conducted election in Edo before, and they lost.
Yeah, I'll come to you
Ondo now.
No, I'll come to you now. And let me come to you now, Madam Chinwe. The same question I asked you. If PDP is one, an umbrella body, we got a Jumo Ibrahim, we got an Etta Jagede son. These are businessman, billionaire, and Etta Jagede is senior advocate in Nigeria, very, very well read here. How come we couldn't put our house? Let me sound like one of you, like a member, which I'm not. How come we couldn't put our house in order to drive through and retain the state?
Thank you very much. Let me take a cue from Honorable's comments.
Good, go ahead.
He did mention the issue of impunity.
Good.
And then I know very well that impunity has not lost its meaning. But in the actions that we display, it appears it has lost its meaning.
Why?
Because when you talk about impunity, especially in a political party, you are simply trying to address the fact that people are not complying with provisions of the rules of engagement. And coming from this aspect now, he is acting National Public Secretary.
Good.
He talked about Dr. Cairo as Deputy National Chairman. Then the issue is that who is impugning who in the party? Because you cannot just stand up and assume an office in a political party that has processes, that has conventions, that has a manner of doing things. Do you understand that? So the impunity right, that's why we talk about internal democracy being when the rank and file of a political party is part of the process, and you do things according to the rules of engagement. So, in other words, at this, given his comments, this group with all due respect, seems to be the one impugning the party.
But
that's not the point of the day.
I'll come back to it. But
let me just go to Ondo that you're talking about.
That group will tell you that there is no room for caretaker committee leadership of the PDP.
Yes, it's because they have failed to understand as well that there is a constitutional provision that gives the supreme body, which is convention, powers to create any form of committee of its choice. Let's not get into that. Let's
come to Ondo.
Let's come to this very much.
Let's come to Ondo now.
So let's come to Ondo.
Why can't they sit down as brothers, eat if possible amala, ewedu, shaki, and agree as brothers and move on with one PDP?
Very well said. Very well said. Because special interests in political parties should not be at the expense of the majority of members.
Go ahead.
This is very important. Now, the candidate of PDP, Barrister Itayo Jegede's son, went through the primary
of Makarfi's PDP.
Of the PDP, which INEC monitored on the grounds that it is from the leadership of the PDP. For instance, the primary of Barrister Jimo Ibrahim was not monitored by INEC. And then again, there were two others. One other told the INEC to retain Jegede's name on the list. And another order came from Barrister Ibrahim for a replacement. Then you begin to wonder, why would the umpire decide which order to choose?
Well, the court verdict.
I said there is order. There are two court orders. There are two court orders.
I'm sorry. Let me explain here. She's explaining that because of litigation, she's trying to build it from the angle of litigation. Go ahead.
Exactly.
We'll come to that.
I'm building it from that.
You have your time, Honorable.
There are two orders. One says retain the name. Another says replace the name. And then they choose to replace the name.
Okay.
So which means the INEC here now is more like playing a preferential treatment, which it ought not to have done. Now, the court gave verdict just 24 hours to election, and then the name reverted. And I think if the INEC was free and fair and independent as it should be, it ought to have postponed that election. More than 20 political parties call for postponement because it's equally the right of a candidate to campaign. It's the right of candidate and right of a party to campaign. And
but what I said is that the Jimo Ibrahim campaign was on the PDP logo, so that can cover up. I
think that is more like being half smart. Because you cannot rule out political party and candidate. They play major role. It's a political party election, no doubt about that. But it is akin to a candidate. So the two must go together. The two must go together. They are not separate. It's political party election, yes.
But if it is all about political party, is one, why can't Jimo Ibrahim campaign cover up for his brother from the same PDP family?
I have not heard that a candidate's campaign can cover another. I'm just hearing it now. That a candidate's campaign, a particular candidate's campaign will cover another. I haven't heard that. Otherwise, why will INEC go through the processes of, the political parties will go through processes of nominating a candidate, and then INEC will go through the process of putting that candidate on its register. It means they all have implications, and such implications must be respected.
So you are accusing INEC now of being biased?
I am accusing them of being biased without any
You're not finding fault with the brother of Jimo Ibrahim and Jegede's problem playing a role here?
No, they did play a role, but INEC kind of aided it. That's my explanation.
Okay,
INEC aided it. INEC aided it.
Honorable Bernard, now, yes. From what Madam Chingwe raised and the complaint from the Makarfi group here, is that from what they saw, some of them we've spoken to them that Jimo Ibrahim was a spoiler. Do you agree with it?
Well, I think it's more we lost because of more of a structural problem. Okay. In the sense that this party thing is not about individuals, and I don't want us to also talk about we want to talk about institutions, how institutions can develop. You see, I think it has been settled by Supreme Court and even by various tribunals, election tribunals, that individuals don't contest election.
But individuals can be so accepted that their influence can sway election.
Check the case of Amechi versus Omeha. Check the case of Kogi, where somebody did an election and the other person took over. Now, if you are insisting that the problem in Edo State was because of division, Ondo, division in the leadership crisis, now you have failed to understand that only PDP or APC cannot make anybody win an election. You've seen when Buhari contested. It is the people of the state. Most of them are not aligned to any political party. They look at the programs of the party. They look at individuals, their performances, and of course, if they have a greater sense of injustice, like they are producing from a particular area, of course, people can vote. PDP alone cannot make anybody win.
But Honorable Bernard, are you not worried that the man who finally picked the ticket of your party for 3 weeks was running in and out of court in Abuja?
Look, let me tell you.
For 3 weeks.
Look, democracy cannot work outside the rule of law. It is his legitimate right. Just like Jegede can go to court now, it is his legitimate right to go to court to seek justice. Anybody can say anything they want to say. If you feel that you have a legitimate claim to something, you can exhaust it in court. And that matter, Jegede has the right to go to court. Yesterday we met to review the situation in the NWC under Sheriff met to review the situation in Ondo State. And we said that, look, we have not gotten the reports, so we cannot comment on whether we will go to court or not. But we acknowledge that the candidate himself, Ita Jegede SAN, can go to court and seek redress where he feels, and that it is in that spirit that even the Governor Mimiko congratulated the governor-elect without Jegede congratulating him, because once he does that, it means that he has considered a defeat. So what are we talking of? The man has the right to go to court. I don't see anybody who has fallen any law by trying to enforce his legal rights. Now
I'll come to you, Madam Chief. Now, the other one is that there is this belief that Justice Okonaban's ruling was very, very faulty. That Justice Okonaban should have seen clearly well that the primaries that brought that brought in Juma Ibrahim was not monitored by INEC.
Let me tell you, the law does not insist that. The law says that inform INEC. Go and check it well. Go and look at the Electoral Act. If you send a letter to INEC or the police and they don't come, that does not invalidate the whole processes. You know, the most important thing that you should be elected. Remember that primaries and internal selection process of the political party. So if you look at it well, as I'm telling you, there is no law.
But do you agree with me, Honorable Bernard, that all of this struggle cost PDP that election?
Well, I think there's a challenge from the structural aspect.
No, you agree? No, let me be structural. You agree with me that the war, this legal battle that took place, demoralized Governor Mimiko, demoralized Jegede, and if possible, the Juma Ibrahim.
I don't know how they feel. At the end, I don't know how they feel. But I have seen somebody go to court. Good. And also, it has happened in Rivers State, where there was a legal battle going on, and PDP still won. But then the name of the candidate was in the ballot. Amechi was in court. Amechi won thereafter at the Supreme Court. But this one, the name of, there is no name. If you look at the ballot, there is no. It is the name of the party that is on the ballot, not the name of an individual. But what happened there was that the man that Peter Odili was backing, Celestine Omeha, was the one who was accepted by INEC then. So Peter Odili fire very well in this same process. It is the name of Editor Jagide that was also. It's not coming too late. No. This has been planned before this time. Okay, let's complete. If you're joining us, we are looking at the Ondo State governorship election, and we have very two prominent political office holders in the People's Democratic Party here. Two prominent party officials. Let me use those words here. We have Administrator Chinwe Nnoru. She is the head of the Publicity division of the People's Democratic Party, led by Senator
Ahmed Makarfi, former governor of Kaduna State, and we have with us also a renowned and very prominent lawmaker from 1999 to 2003, one, as I said earlier, who had worked with former Speaker Salisu Buhari, as well as Gali Umar Naaba. He hails from Rivers State. He is Honorable Bernard Miko. He is the acting National Publicity Secretary of the Senator Ali Modu Sheriff, and former Borno State governor-led People's Democratic Party. And we are looking at the Ondo State governorship election with that big rider, the cost of controversy in a state that was controlled by the Iroko of the PDP, and somehow, somewhat, everyone is wondering, why should that all-important southwestern state go to the All Progressive Congress, leaving Governor Ayodele Fayoshe now apparently standing alone in the political forest of the southwest geopolitical zone. And now, let me come to you, Madam Chinwe. In this analysis here, before the election, we saw real meeting between, I know, Senator Ben Ubi and Cairo Jibo called a joint press conference, and ITV was there. We covered it, and we actually aired it very prominently here, that we're working out settlement. And it made headlines, it made everywhere. Telephone lines were open on media houses, comment. People were happy that APC is going to get a run for its money. But how come the whole thing crashed into Ondo, and Ondo went the other?
Thank you very much. When I began, I did mention the fact that we are dealing with intra-party conflict. And this conflict, this is very unprecedented in the party's life. For 6 months now, is ongoing. And I haven't in any way been part of the school of thought that rules out that a party shouldn't have conflict.
But it's not good for
No,
the
party. I'm coming. Any business of human beings is subject to infraction.
That's true.
Subject to infraction.
Even the tongue and the teeth.
Yes, exactly. So there's nothing wrong in people agitating for special interests. But where I fault what is going on is the fact that as a house, and let me use the analogy of a family. If a family is quarreling, when they get out, there's always a common front they put. When they come back home, they get back to their quarrel. So I had expected this conflict not to get into our elections as a body, because the Senator Ali Modu Sheriff's led interest group is talking about PDP. The PDP structure on ground is talking about PDP. It means we are talking about the same party, and we are trying to lay hold on the soul of the party. Take, for instance, your two consultants to attend to a sick person. First and foremost, no matter your agreement, you want to save the soul first. That's what is important. So leading this conflict to the point whereby we field different candidates in a general election, costing the party such a fortune, is what I still do not understand as an individual.
Well, you are very worried.
As an individual, very worried, of course, because I was thinking that, well, no matter what happens at this interest level, we can carry on with our leadership crisis. But when there's general election, we put a common front. That common front will be from the majority point, because in democracy, majority carries the day. If the factions are together, then they are majority.
But
at this point
Madam could remember our Sunday school lessons. A house that is divided against itself can never stand.
Agreed.
And maybe that was why it never stood in.
That's why we are not standing. Well, our democracy is fledgling. So what is happening this period is more like trying to define law and politics. They are interrelated in every way. But there are two things primarily that law should do in politics. One may be to redress someone's grievances, or to also allow politics to solve issues. But at this point in time, law is doing what it's not supposed to do through Justice Okonaba, who, according to the Lord Justices of the Appeal Court and Supreme Court, took decisions from the comfort of his chambers. Because the moment law defines we and I, it becomes a problem. So right now, law has defined we and I in terms of these two two parts that are in conflict.
Okay.
PDP in conflict with special interest groups.
Are they not also PDP? I think.
So I said PDP.
PDP and PDP. Go ahead.
PDP and PDP.
Good.
But politics also have not lost its fundamental norm, where you say majority carries the day. Like I said earlier, the entire organs of the party are together. For instance, the party has about 110 establishment staff. They are in one place.
Yeah, in the secretariat or where?
In the where the organs are.
Okay.
That's where about this 110 establishment staff are.
But Sheriff got his own staff. They got staff. They got working with
not PDP staff. I said
PDP
okay. Establishment staff.
Let us focus on the discussion.
We'll come back. We'll come back. No. What I said, Madam Chiwu here is, can't we, during that pre-Ondo settlement that made headlines everywhere, what went wrong?
Well, we wouldn't want to sit down here and point out exactly what went wrong.
Because Nigerians knew that you people were already settling.
To summarize it, that the reconciliation got broken along the way. And now it's more like we are before the courts for reconciliation. And I don't think reconciliation is closed in any human organization. The fact that we're before the court does not close reconciliation. You heard him say that. Exactly. But now
it's not coming too late here.
It's coming too late.
You've all fought very hard.
We have all
you lost on those states, and now you are saying, okay, fine. We just got this big antelope we want to kill and take the chief. And the antelope have been captured by the other hunter. Now what do we do now? We the hunters from this village. We've missed the antelope. Let's go home to the Igwe's palace and sit down and hold a meeting. Is it not too late?
What is happening is, like I said earlier, is something that was never envisaged, maybe, especially from me. Like I said earlier, I was thinking that somehow there's nothing wrong in anybody agitating or having special interest, especially in politics. But we should have a common front. Now that we are in opposition, especially, and being the major voice of opposition, this is not what is suited. It's not what is suited. It's not what is suited for us at this point.
Okay.
So it has cost us a lot. We are before the courts trying to have these determinations. Yes, at the end of it, we finish in court. May not stop reconciliation anyway, because like I said, reconciliation in human organization is an ongoing process.
Okay.
But at this point in time, this fight, I believe, has been taken.
To go on with this.
You see, I agree that there are two processes of reconciliation.
Good.
One is legal and one is political. Now, why we came on this program is not for arguments.
Good.
We are not in the courts. The arguments are in the court.
Good.
We came here to put ourselves on record that these are facts of history.
Good.
It has happened before, why we lost states like Benue State. Our PDP governor then didn't pay salaries for up to 9 months.
But it wasn't only him, even Imo wasn't paying.
Wait, I'm coming. I'm talking of specific states. Okay. Benue State, Plateau State. Why we lost Plateau? The governor, when leaving, brought somebody from his own senatorial zone. These are what the stakeholders say. So I am saying that if we are going into the election, we should go with clear eyes. We should apply the rules. If we are going for power rotation, we apply, if the Constitution, Section 730 of the Constitution, and Section 14, subsection 4 of the Constitution, say that power must rotate. And we do that all the time. But when you ignore that, and the electorate feel a sense of resentment, of course you can have your say. You can have your way. They will have their say. I think these are parts of the things which has played out in Ondo. I went there.
Even Edo, Oshomole brought his own candidate and imposed on them.
Let me tell you, that matter, whether he won or not won, that matter is before the courts. Good. Even PDP, we were doing like that before when we were in power. But we are now saying that we are an opposition party. We are in opposition. So we have to. And the electoral system is being purified from day to day. So let us do what is right. Let us not say that because this man is a governor or is a major stakeholder, he can bring somebody to replace himself. These are the problems.
Let's not. I'm coming now. No, let me come to where we stop now. The issue of reconciliation. the question is, are we going to see one? That's the problem. Where Honorable Karo Jibo came here and we asked, are we going to see one?
Of course.
He said he's hoping to see one.
Of course. You see, political parties don't die. Anybody telling you that PDP as institutions don't die, they can be weak, they can go extinct, they can go into mergers, but say it can only be prescribed by law, except the law says PDP does not exist anymore. It is the individuals in the party that will galvanize the spirit that will make them win elections. But once the spirit is dampened, or even the same PDP people, they will vote for another party. Look at the last presidential election. PDP voted outside PDP, and of course, PDP lost the election because they believe that the president then couldn't deliver because of obvious security reasons and some other things, Boko Haram and Chibok girls and all that. Now, if we believe that unity in the PDP alone, to the exclusion of the electorate, will deliver us victory, I think we are making a big mistake. We should carry everybody along. It's neither Jegede.
You still have not answered my question on reconciliation.
Yes, reconciliation is ongoing.
Are we going to see? Because from the way Madam Chingwe ended, one will be forced to actually shed tears because the lamentation now is high that this wasn't the umbrella that we thought will rule the country for 60 years.
The reconciliation process is on.
Okay.
But you cannot take away.
Are we still meeting?
Of course. You cannot take away the legal rights of party members when it concerns elections. As it is now, the party even cannot tell Jegede not to go to court.
No, I'm sorry, sir. I'll come to you, madam. Can we remain? I'm talking about the Makarfi and Sheriff group. Can we remain in court?
No, the court matter has an end. It will end.
No. Why don't we come out of court?
Is there any
go
matter,
out of court?
Is there any matter in court now? Do you remember? Is there any matter in court now?
The Makarfi Sheriff is still in court.
Which court? Which court?
Both are still
no, which court?
Both are still in court. They're still in the appeal court.
Then why don't we wait for the appeal?
Why don't we come out of court and say, let's look? Why don't we say, look, Honorable Bernard?
No, there are issues. Why don't we say both parties? Both parties
are canvassing.
I know. Whatever we canvass, there is room for ground shifting here. Why don't we say, Honorable Bernard, please, whatever happens, whatever is going on in the appeal court, can we meet?
I think Sheriff has given an olive branch before this time. That look, that he is prepared to step aside for the sake of the party.
But he also gave a condition that others should vacate.
Of course.
Is that not too heavy?
Anyway,
no. Why do you think if we are going for reconciliation, yes, which means that you don't come with a predetermined mind? If I say I'm leaving, why don't you leave? What makes that person superior to this person?
I'll come to that.
What you have just said brought me to the earlier point.
I don't want to discuss about individuals.
Yes.
I don't. It is not.
But the party must be one.
It brings me.
Yeah, but it is
Nigerians are waiting for an opposition party. Nigerians wait to see any of you firing like Eli Mohammed who fired the Jonathan. Nigerians wait to see the president
when the name of Jimbo was replaced with that of Jegede, why, if you know that you didn't have the time and you know the Electoral Act, that they cannot continue to postpone elections because of intra-party disputes. You have 28 parties. If they have given one party 3 weeks, before the end of 3 weeks, and there's another dispute in other parties, by the time you postpone elections for 28 parties, to 2020, you won't have elections in any of these.
But your PDP is a mega party.
No. Parties are equal.
Apart from that,
parties contesting elections are treated equally.
In sovereignty of political parties, they are equal.
Good.
In the eyes of the law, they are equal.
I agree with you.
But this very instance, we requested a postponement because the electoral umpire played a major role to the infraction we suffered. If it's just an intra-party issues, we wouldn't have come up with that. But they did play a major role that they ought not to have played.
But they obeyed the court.
But there are two others, so why choose to obey the one that is
candidate went for that election. One candidate went for that election.
Go ahead, madam.
There are two others. One says do not tamper with the name of Lutaya Jogede. One says replace with Barrister Jimo. Why did the umpire choose the one he wants to obey. Like I said earlier, that is a matter
before
another day, and before the court. Now, what he's trying...
That one I've been thinking about history, according to the Supreme Court.
What he's trying to explain that when the INEC had put Barrister Jimoh Ibrahim, the PDP would have all rallied around him. That would have been the impunity aspect that they are talking about.
Court order is impunity?
No, I'm coming. Running around the...
she's accusing INEC of impunity. That INEC pick whoever he likes.
I'm not here to speak for INEC.
I said the issue of Barrister Jimoh. The party chose to challenge the issue because of the emergence of Barrister Jimoh. Okay. If Barrister Jimoh had emerged through the process that Jegede emerged from, like I said earlier, we're not interested in an individual. They are all qualified to rule Ondo State. But we are particular with the processes that they went through. And now, talking about reconciliation, I have said what I need to say about that already. But it is costing us...
Do you accept? Yesterday, Honorable Cairo Jibo extended the olive branch again. That look, we are ready now for true and sincere reconciliation. Are you people ready for reconciliation?
In fact, if there's anybody ready for reconciliation much more, is Senator Makarfi. But I'm trying to differ from his explanation that if Senator Sheriff said he wants to step aside, why wouldn't Makarfi step aside?
So,
it is as if we are dealing with...
Sheriff said he wants a clean start of the party.
It is as if we are dealing... No, it is as if we are dealing with individuals. No, we are not dealing with individuals. We are dealing with processes. The May 21st National Convention, like some media will report that NWC were sacked. They were not sacked. They only ceased to exist by reason of tenure. Nothing like sacking them.
If you look at the party's constitution, you cannot canvass a motion on the floor of a convention without advertising that motion to 60 days. So you cannot just convey a convention.
I'm come here.
I didn't get him.
Madam Chingwe, let me ask you this. People have asked here that some of your governors, they mention name, like Governor Wiki of Rivers, Governor Mimiko, Governor Ayopayoshe. They are governors who have become political bullies. They pick, they remove at will.
No,
how do we correct that in the past?
I'm coming to that point whereby we're talking about impunity.
Okay.
I said it earlier.
That they went to pick Sheriff. They picked Sheriff. Some of you, even yourself and others, said, look, leave Sheriff out. But the governor said, no, Sheriff is the Messiah. And they went to Port Harcourt and told the Messiah, you are not the Messiah. And the man said, no, you cannot be the Messiah.
Impunity can never be okay in any form of relationship. And that brings me to where I started earlier. Okay. Let people obey the rules of engagement. Good. That is the only way you can survive as individuals and as groups and as political parties. Impunity is not good. But you cannot correct impunity with impunity.
Talk of the first impunity.
No. You can't correct it.
You have to identify where impunity came in.
Like what I have always observed. If this group is actually out to make sure that this systematic problem of impunity is addressed, I was thinking that they could carry on a special interest group as who they are. There's nothing wrong with it. But now, assuming
they are also bitter that the governors pick anybody, throw you. Tomorrow when they look at you, Madam Chingwe,
but I said it's not.
You've spoken very well.
But I
said impunity is not good.
You admit that they did not do well by imposing Sheriff on the party.
Impunity is not good by anybody.
No, let us admit specific cases.
No, she have agreed. She have agreed.
Impunity is not good
that
by
impunity
anybody.
Is not good.
But impunity cannot be corrected by impunity.
Two wrongs cannot make it right.
Two wrongs cannot make it right. Because if this interest group is about correcting impunity, they cannot stand on impunity again. By assuming offices, knowing truly where there are processes of emerging as officers. There's nothing stopping a former officer with other former officers organizing a pressure group. I am former this, I am former that. We come together to correct our There's nothing wrong with that.
My time is almost up now. We've run for almost an hour now. But the mainstay coming back here, people watching the two of you from two different areas of the PDP here. You said the PDP is one. Let's hope it is one. What I said earlier, they are worried that everyone had expected that the moment, if you watch what happened in the Senate, the moment the APC won, the PDP actually used the strength to sway who became Senate President. They used their strength to sway issues. We saw a PDP firing. We saw an Olusemetu who was still there then, keeping the APC on its toe, before gradually we saw the entire umbrella struggling through the wind of internal party struggle here. But let me come again before we go. Your very last word, Honorable Bernard here. Are we going to see Nigerians are there? If you can look at them in the camera and tell them, when are they going to see you and Madam Chinwe and Ahmed Makarfi and Alimodu Sheriff all sit down together, open Wadata Plaza and say, look, the PDP is back to God for the glory. Will that be possible soon, or do we wait and go through the court?
Let me tell you, I told you that we are on the both political and legal solution. Good. The crisis, the same set of persons, which we have mentioned, there are a few governors, not more than 3, brought in Sheriff to deny the court judgment of Gulag,
Ahmed Gulag,
and also brought in Makarfi. They didn't bring themselves. So except you address those.
No, I'm coming.
What I'm saying. What
he says that at the convention, the true Sheriff and back Makarfi.
Yes. What I'm saying.
What I'm asking you is,
these people have nothing personal to themselves. If you look at them, they talk everywhere.
Are we going to be seeing peace?
Of course. What I'm trying to explain to you, that the rank and file of the party are not divided. Because if you look at the policies, you see, there is policy paralysis in Nigeria today. The APC, which they hoped would have given them much desired results, is not providing it. So they are looking up to PDP.
And the PDP is not firing the APC. That's the problem.
No. You see, because there are these crises in position of candidate, impunity.
Now, Bernard, you're not answering my question. Are we going to see peace?
Of course, that's what I'm telling you. One, the court is going to settle it, and secondly, the political solution. It's not enough for the court to settle. Even if the court gives pronouncement in favor of either Makarfi or Sheriff, you need to bring people together.
Okay, thank you very much. Madam
and that is what we did yesterday.
Madam Chinwe, are we going to see peace?
Thank you very much to our members nationwide,
and to Nigerians who
are
also
teaming
waiting
supporters,
for you,
and to Nigerians that are waiting for us, given the ineptitude of the ruling party, which is taking solace in dividing PDP so that they will not have any challenge. That they should stop.
You're pointing at the brooms.
They should stop and allow PDP to thrive, because we are seeing their undercurrent. We are feeling it. We are seeing it. Peace will not elude PDP. By the grace of God, PDP will emerge from this stronger. But all I'm saying is that at this point in time, the leadership of the party, by virtue of pronouncements of its supreme body, is led by Ahmed Makarfi.
Okay, I won't ask Honorable Bernard to respond, because I know Bernard will tell you that the leadership of the party, based on what he was contained in the law, is Senator Alimodu Sheriff. I won't ask you, and hope I've spoken correctly. Thank you.
I'm not an individual.
No, thank you very much. We have with us 2 firebrand members of a party that governed Nigeria for 16 years, a party that produced Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, late President Alhaji Umaru Musa Adua, and Goodluck Ebele Azikiwe Jonathan as President and Commander-in-Chief at a certain time in our history. And today the party appeared not to be as tight as many hoped about that. And Chief Audu Ogwe, one-time chairman, but now APC member and agri minister, had prophesied before me, even on camera, that the PDP will rule for 60 years uninterrupted. But we are saying that not happening, and so many drama and melodrama coming forth within that line of the PDP. We have been speaking with two key officials of the People's Democratic Party. We have spoken on my immediate right is Administrator Madam Lady Chinwe Unnomru, the head of Publicity Division of the People's Democratic Party, headed by Senator Ahmed Makarfi. And we have also spoken with Honorable Bernard Amiko he is from Rivers State. He is also the acting National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, headed by Senator Ali Modu Sheriff. We hope that one day we will see two of them come here, sit down and talk, and we won't have to tie them to either Sheriff or Makarfi, but just tie them to one united umbrella under which the APC would be actually somehow critique positively. Thanks for coming on the show, sir. Thanks for coming, madam.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. On that note, we end this interview segment. We take a break. When we come back from the break, the program This Morning on ITV would continue.
To the dawning of the day, This Morning on ITV is programmed to make your day. Our breakfast current affairs program, This Morning on ITV, is incisive and entertaining. Our anchor and guests are a delight to watch. You can call it TMI.
I would prefer that we will get to the end of corruption and I'll continue to suffer this difficulty.
They will release the money in court when the court makes a judgment in favor of the patient.
And don't forget that even if we cannot export it, we can actually consume high quality produce.
Join us at 7 a.m. Monday to Thursday on your darling station, ITV.